Homelessness in the United States, particularly in major blue cities, has been stuck in two conflicting trends. On one hand, more money and resources have been allocated to solving homelessness in cities like Los Angeles, Boston, and Detroit than ever in history. A lot more. On the other hand, the homeless population continues to skyrocket with no relief in sight. How can both of these things be true? Is it just fun mismanagement, ineffective solutions, or is it actually far more nefarious? There are clear similarities between the way money is being wasted on failed homelessness projects in America and the failed humanitarian projects in Africa and elsewhere. Let's first look at Los Angeles. News from early March comes from Kenneth Schrupp at Just the News. Court finds why LA's recent homelessness spending of over $2 billion fails to produce results. A court-ordered assessment of the city of Los Angeles' $2.3 billion in recent homelessness spending has found officials often paid bills without verifying services were provided. This means, in many instances, taxpayer money was spent without any results. That could explain some of the contradiction about rising homelessness despite rising homelessness spending. The city of Los Angeles is home to 45,252 homeless individuals, while Los Angeles County is home to 75,518 homeless individuals, according to the latest point-in-time homelessness count from early 2024. Invoice reviews by the city and LAHSA, typically centered on reconciling aggregate amounts in financial reports rather than verifying the quality, legitimacy, and reasonableness of expenses. It's noteworthy that the cities with the fastest growing homeless populations and the largest spikes in spending to combat homelessness aren't just Democrat-run. They all have massive Democrat majorities that have been embedded in the government for decades. So what does that have to do with African humanitarian aid? As we have been discovering piecemeal for years, and more acutely since the Trump administration started addressing waste and fraud through the Department of Government Efficiency, much of the aid sent to African and other third world areas are black holes where money is tossed and forgotten. Funds continue to flow in, but nothing seems to change. If anything, it just keeps getting worse. This is by design. What we're learning about foreign aid is that they are very likely fronts for money laundering, CIA bribes, and off-the-books projects. The same seems to be the case with domestic programs, especially the various wars against homelessness being waged in deep blue cities. And while it seems unlikely the CIA is involved in those programs, the money laundering and off-the-books projects are almost certainly happening in these blue cities and even states. A recent investigation launched by independent journalists has uncovered deeply troubling scandals in California, and they're not unique. Like humanitarian aid in Africa, homelessness solutions in blue cities in America have very little oversight and almost no exposure from legacy media. Nobody is looking beyond the accounting, and books are very easy to cook. If we pull back the covers and dig deeper into how the money is actually spent, whether in Africa or on the streets of blue cities, we are very likely to find that many people are getting paid and no solutions are actually being funded. They want the problems to persist. Sunlight needs to shine on every failed homelessness project in America. If the money isn't going to real solutions to assist the unhoused, then how is the money really being used? Who is getting paid? What DOGE is just starting to do with foreign aid, government employee efficiency, and redundancies in bureaucracy needs to happen specifically with the various homeless programs across the country. Chances are there are people who are breaking the law to not only launder funds, but also to keep the homelessness scam going. The worse the problem gets, the easier it is for the corruption to thrive.